Hello, my gorgeous friends. Sonia here with Fresh Approach Fitness, a wellness company. Thank you once again for showing up and for joining us today. We are August 30th, 2021, and today's episode is going to be about your unique fat loss formula. I talk about meals, movement, mindset, and money. So today is a combination more so on the mindset and the meals side of things. Diets, lifestyle changes that way, mantras. We're gonna dig deep when it comes to making personal choices that are for you. Your choices are going to be completely different than my choices, and they should be. And we're gonna talk about why when we make changes in our lifestyle, it has a huge ripple effect in our day-to-day life. You ready? Grab your pen and paper. If you're anything like I am, grab your pen and paper. Maybe you're on the fly and you can't do it, but I find when I have some of my favorite podcasts, I'm always pausing it, going to a different room and making notes. So feel free to do that. Feel free to screen share. I've done that if I was in a position where I couldn't, I would screen share where I was at. Like take a screenshot, and then I would know where I left off, and I could pick it up when I get back or what I wanted to circle back to. Two little tips for me to you this morning. Oh, and before we go too far, I want to share with you 2 upcoming workshops I'm going to be rolling out. I'm just working on finalizing the dates and times, but they will be likely in September. One of them is what is your relationship with money? And the second one has to do with a vision board. Both of them are super cool, and I'm not tooting my own horn, but they're very unique. It's not going and doing just a cut and paste for a vision board. We go really deep in it, and I'm going to be doing something different this time. I'm going to be doing it by donation only. So you show up, you do the full event, and at the end of the event, I will put my QR code up on the screen, and you can decide what it was worth to you and how you want to move forward. How's that? Perfect. You ready to get started? Okay. I know that everybody wants a plan when it comes to fat loss. And actually, before we go too deep, I want to explain there is a difference, a huge difference between fat loss and weight loss. Today, we're talking about fat loss. Fat loss really has to do with the extras that you're carrying around in your body. Technically, we could both weigh 200 pounds. I could look trim. You could perhaps look really trim, really skinny, really fit, and somebody else could look extremely muscular, right? That is where the variance is going to come in with fat loss. We could weigh the same, but look different. So keep that in mind, because the number one thing I hear all the time is, well, a pound is a pound, or pretty much a pound is a pound, or a calorie is a calorie. But let's talk about a pound is a pound for a second. As we go into today's episode, I want you to get this visual in your mind before we get started. Imagine a pound of steak. Okay, what does that look like? It is really fit, right? It is really tight. It is, there's maybe a little bit of fat around the edges, but that steak is firm. Now imagine a pound of popcorn. Wow. You got to have a lot of popcorn to equal 1 pound. Popcorn, what does it look like? Well, it's light, it's fluffy, and there's going to have to be a whole lot of it, right? They're both tasty, they're both good. That's not what we're talking about, though. So, I hope you're not hungry as you're listening to this. But now if we put those both on a scale, at the end of the day, a pound is a pound, but look how different it looks. It's a big difference. So think of the fat loss as the steak, okay? Weight loss as the popcorn. Together, you are making a change where you want to look fit and trim, but that number on the scale should not matter. And that's why we're not going to talk too much about it, but that's why. And this is where the formula is a unique formula based on you. And I'm going to explain how we figure out that formula. And for anybody that wants to learn more, who chooses to work with me, you can certainly reach me. I'm going to put my link tree in here. Just or Google Fresh Approach Fitness, a wellness company. See what comes up. Definitely reach out. You'll be able to reach out to me on here, but I would certainly love to work with you on my nutrition. There is a nutrition quiz in my link tree that you could start with. Certainly, you've got nothing to lose by inquiring a little bit further. If you like what you hear, of course. If you don't, I don't expect you to hear from me. Oh, and if you do like it, I only have a handful of followers right now. So I'm going to ask you to like, share, and comment on wherever you see these posts or this podcast. That'll help string things along for me. All right, you back at it? You ready? Everybody wants a plan. They want to know what to eat, what to avoid, when to exercise, and how. They're looking for that magical formula. They want the approved list of what's healthy and what's not healthy, the dirty dozen, and meal plans. They want things provided to them, okay? But what if that's not actually the best way to reach your goal? Here's a hint. It's not, because what works for me might not work for you. So today in this episode, we're going to talk about how that approach might be holding you back and how you can actually accelerate your progress to your fat loss goals by creating your own customized plan. How do you do it? How do you know where to start? How do you create your unique fat loss formula? Well, I'm going to tell you. Settle in. So here's the challenge. The challenge is we're always in a frantic search to find the right plan, the right thing, those magic pills or the right protein. We read blogs, diet books, news stories about the latest fads, and we're hoping to find the miracle answer to weight loss, right? Weight loss, fat loss. The thing is that no one is capable of designing a fat loss strategy for anyone other than themselves. Have you heard the old adage, you could teach somebody, you could make fish for somebody, or you can go fishing with somebody, but if you teach them how to fish, they'll be able to provide food for themselves for the rest of their life. That's what I'm doing here. I am teaching you how to fish, aka I'm helping you find your unique fat loss formula, okay? So the thing is that no one is capable of designing a fat loss strategy for you. You have to do this yourself because everyone comes from fat loss from a different angle. Sure, there's basic fat loss principles that can be broadly applied, but at the end of the day, the specifics for a fat loss lifestyle are absolutely unique to each individual. We have different emotional needs, hormonal needs, physical needs, taste buds, different food preferences, family situations, budgets, degrees of motivation, you name it. There is not a one-size-fits-all program when it comes to fat loss. Everything, just like your life, should be unique to you. So what's the solution? All right. Well, you have to start paying attention to your unique responses to your food and lifestyle factors. Instead of asking, can I eat fruit and lose fat? And you're looking for this from an expert, turn the question around and ask it to yourself. Decide that you're going to keep all of the other factors the same for the week, so you're not going to change anything else, but you're going to add in fruit once or twice a day. Monitor that progress. What's changed? Think of your hunger, energy, cravings, stress, mood, and sleep. Yesterday, I got cranky, and we're going to talk about this. I got a little bit cranky yesterday. It's very unlike me, and I was a little bit, let's go there. I was a little bit bitchy, and I'm trying to think, why? Where is this coming from? Well, extreme heat. We were looking at 34, 35 degrees plus humidity, and that's Celsius. We're not used to it that high. And the night before, I was up at 3 or 4 in the morning because I had eaten beef the night before. And I had a really, really upset stomach. So I was trying to not wake up Tony. So I went to the couch, I read, and then I went back to bed. So I didn't have a good sleep. It was really, really hot. And because of both of those, I didn't eat properly. I got cranky. I can tell you my mood, my hunger, my stress, and my cravings were impacted. Sleep. So think about those things, and I'm going to say them again, okay? Hunger, energy, cravings, stress, mood, and sleep. Those are the things you should be tracking as well as, or while you're on a weight loss program, while you are making changes to your lifestyle. So not only are you identifying were you able to make any difference, and the way we can track fat loss is through things like energy, is through things like craving, stress, mood. But yes, another way is either through the scale or through measurements. Okay. I don't like to use a scale often, but it is one of many devices that we can use to track our progress. Another helpful tip is to take pictures. Just take selfies every day. Not every day. Once a week. Do nothing with them, but you can see the progress change in your face first. Typically. Not everybody. Typically it starts top down. Okay, and then it'll find a stubborn spot and it'll stay there for a little bit when it comes to fat loss. And then once it gets through that stubborn spot, you might see it go back, top down again. Typically for me, and again, this is different for everybody, typically it starts top down. It finds some, when I say it's, my progress will seem like it is staying stagnant when it's working through some tough, viscous fat, so my belly fat around my belly. So it'll seem like my fat loss is at a little bit of a standstill, but it's not. You know it's not because my energy, my mood, my cravings, all of that are in sync, right? So that's how you know you're not staying still. Those are the things you want to monitor more than anything. So let's go back to eating more fruit. Were you able to make any kind of progress? How did it feel? Did it negatively impact your hunger, cravings, mood, stress, or sleep? Negatively. No? Great. That's fantastic. Keep going. But on the flip side, did you notice that you had more sugar cravings? Or did your fat loss progress slow down? Were you more hungry? Those answers will tell you everything you need to know. To be successful in achieving fat loss that you effortlessly maintain in life, because remember, this is not a diet. A diet typically has a start date and an end date. And yes, I do weight loss challenges for people. In most cases, it's to help them start to get motivated and to help to start to teach people to think differently about the changes that they are doing to their body, letting them know that I'm on their corner and the resources that I have available to them. Okay, so yes, were you successful in losing any kind of extra weight? These answers will tell you everything that you need. So to be successful in achieving fat loss, you want to effortlessly be able to maintain this for the rest of your life, not a short term. You need to pay attention. You need to chart the course. So whatever you track, you attract. So if you're tracking your fat loss journey, you will attract healthier results because you're going to be more mindful. So as you get further and further into your journey, it needs to become increasingly customized to do what works for you with where you're at. And don't be surprised if this changes slightly month after month or season after season. Not every day is the same. Your journey should not be the same every day. Look to find the answers to the following questions. All right? What foods satisfy my cravings? What foods send me into a downward binging spiral? For me personally, it's when I eat carbs in isolation. I never eat carbs in isolation. Actually, I don't eat any of my macros in isolation. Macros. For those that are new listening to this, proteins, fats, carbohydrates. So if it doesn't fall into a protein or a fat, it is automatically a carbohydrate. So let me be crystal clear. Fruits, vegetables, carrots, those are carbohydrates. I'm not saying any of these are bad. I'm just helping you identify what falls into those groups. Okay, so what for you, what hits a downward binging spiral? What foods keep you filled up longest? What foods give you the most energy? What foods do you look forward to eating? What foods are the most manageable to prepare? That's a big one because that goes into time. That goes into different parts of your life. What are the most convenient and satisfying snacks? I have a couple favorites here. So for me, and I do post these in my Celebrate Everything group. The link to the group is in my link tree that will be posted. I welcome you all to join this community. I post different snacks. I've posted some of them on TikTok, so you can see them on some of my other social media profiles as well. But Sometimes it's a sliced up apple with the protein bar sliced up. That's one of my snacks. Okay. Again, protein and carbohydrates together. Sometimes it'll be almonds with a banana cut up, or almonds with with some strawberries. So yes, I eat fruits. Yes, I find foods that satisfy my cravings. Okay. And I want the same for you. When it comes time to me finding foods I like to eat, those are fun foods. On my meal plan this week, and I did post this, one of the things I wanted to make was mango salsa to go with the fish that we eat, right? So I'm making it a little bit different. It's mangoes and cilantro and red onion and a little bit of jalapeno with some lime juice and some lemon juice all mixed in together. Yum, right? I wouldn't have thought about making that. It is delicious. I'm going to be eating it with the protein over fish, and maybe I'm not sure yet, either some cauliflower rice or probably some cauliflower rice, because there's a nice chive and garlic one that I really, really like. And that sounds like, or maybe what I might do, I might make a sweet potato to go with it. Not sure yet. Okay. These are all satisfying to me. So what are the most convenient and satisfying foods? What can you maintain for the rest of your life? If you don't know where to start there. And what is your point of balance between eating healthy, being satisfied, getting results, and being happy with your plan? If I were to poll 100 people who has lost 50 pounds or more, I bet you $100 that they all have different answers to these questions. And guess what? None of them are wrong, because you have to do what's right for you, right? And it's about lifelong results. So let's talk about practical implementation, the tactical solutions to getting started. Keep a food journal, first and foremost. Grab a cute notebook that you like and make it your food journal. Spend 2 to 5 minutes each day writing down everything you eat and what type of exercises you do. At several points throughout the day, assess your hunger, mood cravings, energy, and stress levels. Monitor your fat loss progress on a weekly basis via your body weight measurements, how clothes are fitting, or take that picture. Look for patterns. When you're struggling with cravings, it's because of the types of food you're eating. Is it or isn't it? Ask yourself that question. Maybe it has more to do with your stress level or sleep patterns. Like me yesterday, being Miss Cranky. When you start to experience great fat loss results, look for patterns in your diet and your body's feedback. So I'm actually going to recommend 2 books here. I just went over to Indigo on the weekend, and I bought a package of 3. So 3. One is a dedicated book for your eating journey, fat loss journey, weight loss journey, whatever you want to call it. Make it pretty. Write out some of these questions, paste them in there, use it like a vision board. I actually have a template you can use. You need to message me to get it. It's a free download. I'll send it off to you. It's a way of tracking your food. Okay. You can always email me, but I talk about all of these things: sleep, hunger, cravings, energy. We go over all of that. Okay. So I can definitely get that off to you. But if you were trying to map out your entire fat loss formula, you'd be doing yourself a major disservice in the long run. You can't plan too much in this area. The better you know your body and your individual response to food, stress, and exercise, the more effective you will be at achieving your fat loss goals and maintaining them for life, which is what you want. You don't want to start and stop all over again. No, you want to start, pause, pivot, proceed, continue to see results and success. Dig in, do the work, pay attention to your body, and find those answers for yourself. Remember how I just said, you want to have more than one book? Here's why. We're going to end on this note. It's been about 20 minutes or so, but I want to end on a couple of different ideas for you to think about, okay? Brainstorm here. Just leave these in your mind. There are no short-term strategies. Short-term strategies deliver short-term results. There's no bashing yourself. Your behavior and your choices will reflect in the way you are with your relationship with yourself, which comes down to your thoughts and your words. Eat foods that you love and eat foods that love you back. Loving food is not the problem. It is part of the solution. Find the right foods to love. Pay attention. Pay more attention to your body than to the information out there. Keep your eyes on your own work, so stay in your own lane. Comparison is comparison. We hear this all the time. It's a terrible use of time, energy, and emotion. Stop listening to yourself and start talking to yourself. You are not your thoughts, you are the thinker. High on veggies, moderate on protein and fat. Watch the starch sugar. And honestly, if you don't know where to start, you don't have to use an app. You can use an app to find out your macros. I work with macros. I like to know the macro balance. And I don't live by it 100%. More often than not, I don't track my food that way. I track it, energies, cravings, emotions, feelings. I track it this way. But if you don't know where to start, do what I just suggested. Be high on the veggies, moderate on fat and proteins. And if you're not sure what they are, hop onto MyFitnessPal, set it all up, send me a message, and I can help you find out where you're at presently with your macro balance, okay? Because that's going to help you tons in getting started and having a different relationship with food. All right, I've got one more takeaway for you, and this is what you can put in that second book, or you can go ahead and put these on your phone. Some extra mantras. Do it anyway. Just for today. I can do hard things. I choose foods that I love that love me back. Self-control and resistance on distractions. So I'm going to say them again, okay? I'm going to say these mantras again. Do it anyway. Just for today. I can do hard things. I choose foods and love that love me back. And love that I love them. I'm going to say that last one again and I always trip over it because it's the way I've got it written is a little bit different. I choose foods I love that love me back. Keep it simple. Self-control and resistance to distractions. So remember your why. Remember your why. Seriously, this is one of the best ways is to use affirmations to get you started. Put those affirmations in both books because there's many affirmations that I share all of the time. Guys, thank you again for showing up today to learn a little bit more about your solution for fat loss. Nobody says it's going to be easy, but I promise you, you practice these, it is going to be so worth it. Until next week, my friends, we will chat soon. Make it a fantastic day and know one thing. Every choice is a chance to pursue improvements every single day.